Right guys, what's going on? It's FootieWriter here for 100% Chelsea, back with the Chelsea versus Watford review. Now, can you say mirror image? London derby, Diego Costa right at the end of the game picking up the win. Should have been sent off. Let's be serious here, Chelsea fans. Basically, it was a mirror image of the West Ham game. Dominated much of the possession. We had more chances against West Ham, less against Watford. And I think Watford deservedly were in front, you know, when it happened and Chelsea come back to win. I think this result was a little bit more of a snatch and grab than the West Ham game, because I think we deserved the West Ham game. But today was basically a mirror image and it was strange. Now, starting the game, the first half was awful. It was boring. Chelsea had a lot of the possession but created very little with it. Watford had little of the possession and created the better chances. They should have been 1-0 up going into half-time with a Gary Cahill miraculous clearance, which should have been a corner and was ultimately a goal kick. Gary Cahill somehow managing to defy physics and get in and get the ball over the bar from absolutely no distance at all. You know, going in the first half, I think Azpilicueta, Terry and Cahill were all magnificent, and Ivanovic was dreadful across the whole game. His touch was poor, his passing was poor, he wasn't getting forward very well, although that was the one thing that he did do better than at the back, but that's not really a compliment. I think that Kante and Matic were pretty anonymous in the first half. Kante better than Matic obviously in that first half, but I thought that they were both pretty poor. In the first half I thought Hazard was lively, I thought Oscar was doing things well, and you know, I thought Pedro, I didn't even know Pedro was playing for a lot of the game, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought the decision to start him when Willian had picked up a calf strain, which should be a week out at most, wasn't the right one. I actually thought Moses should have played, and Diego Costa did well in the first half to do what he needed to do, but he didn't really create too much passing the ball off to Hazard. It was a little bit lackluster in the first half. Second half started exactly the same as it did against West Ham. We picked up the pace for a little bit, so Conte had obviously got stuck into them, and then Watford scored, and I think Ivanovic was at fault for the goal. Now, if you watch, the ball gets whipped in and Terry and Cahill were both there on one. I think it was Deeney. They were both there on Deeney. Ivanovic has come in and then lost Capu, who was out on the back stick, who finishes brilliantly in fairness. But that's where Ivanovic should have been. And then Cahill goes out. It gets drawn out. Ivanovic should be out there. That's his position. Yes, he's come in to help his centre-backs, but they didn't need it. There's only one defender in there. Terry and Cahill could have swept that up. Ivanovic could have prevented that goal. Now, going on, I thought that Chelsea looked a lot better when we went behind, much as we did against West Ham. Still think a lot of that first half analysis applies to the second half in terms of the quality of the players. Ivanovic somehow went into a right winger. He was there for everything, which didn't make sense, but wasn't doing anything at the back. But didn't really need to be doing anything at the back either, because Watford are kind of going for the 1-0 win, which was dangerous. Ultimately, I think a lot of the same applies in the second half. I think Hazard was lively. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a bit. Yes, Conte has got his substitutions bang on, but could we argue that he should have been playing something similar in the first, you know, starting like that? We've got Fabregas, who one could argue was man of the match. He had the pre-assist to Hazard when Hazard got the ball away, shot, and Batshuayi picked up the rebound, which I think was really good, and he played that magnificent ball through to Diego Costa after actually stopping a chance for Watford, picked up the ball and just cut that ball through. Fabregas and Costa work together, and I think Oscar should ultimately be dropped for Fabregas. I don't know why we're not playing him. I really hope he doesn't see this as a sign and says, right, I want to force for a move. I think we should be playing Fabregas there. Instead, I think we made a mistake by playing Pedro. We should have played Moses there if that's how he wants to go. I think Moses is clearly his first choice as a sub, coming on as a winger. So I think we should have started with Moses. You could argue that all three players that we ended up with in Fabregas, Batshuayi and Moses should have started today. I like a 3-5-2 now. After seeing the first bit of this Chelsea team, I'm liking a 3-5-2 with Batshuayi and Costa up front. I think they complement each other pretty well. And yes, we could argue that the result wouldn't have happened if we didn't bring those substitutes on, but would we have been in the position to need it to happen? I think that is the important thing. If I'm going on ratings, you know, Courtois didn't do much, didn't need to do much, 6. Ivanovic was awful, you know, I'm going to give him a 4 in this game, and I think even that's a little bit generous. Terry and Cahill both solid 7s. Maybe Cahill was a little bit better than Terry for his clearance. Aspilicueta 6, you know, didn't really need to do much. Got to the byline a couple of times. I thought he was pretty good there. I'm going to give Matic a 5 because I thought he didn't really do much. He didn't really bring much to the game. I'm going to give Kante a 6. And then at the front, I'm going to give Hazard a 7 because he looked lively and he looked like he was going to make something happen. I'm going to give Oscar a 6. Do you know what? Some of his balls into the box were really good, but they were just a little bit in front of where they needed to be. Commentary was saying that Oscar was actually pretty good for us. I didn't see it really like that. I'm going to give Pedro a 4 because he was anonymous. You know, he didn't make any mistakes. I just didn't see him. Do you know, his name might have been called on commentary like twice. I think that sums it up. And then we got Costa, who I'm going to give a 7 to for the finish and also for getting involved. The substitutes coming on now. Moses was lively. I'm going to give him a 7 because he doesn't deserve anything less. Batshuayi got a goal. Going to give him an 8, and because he came on and he made a difference. And the person that came on and made the most difference, and who ultimately, although he only played 20 minutes, I'm going to end up giving man of the match to, is Fabregas, because he changed the game. Changed the game when he came on. Even when he wasn't involved in the 2 goals, which he was for both of them, he got the ball to his feet and he was looking to pass it on. And ultimately, that's why I think Fabregas should be this man of the match and why he should start our next game. Anyway, guys, I've been FootieWriter for 100% Chelsea. Make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and go check out all our social links, including mine, in the description below. I've been FootieWriter, guys. Make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking about the game. As always, have a great day.